So today is a brand new character and another new character request, and Ultralord was part of the list, and I thought it'd be perfect just to bring him out for someone different. And since we're waiting on a Jimmy Neutron rep for Hugh Neutron, it's going to be about Ultralord. Before I get into him for my character ideas, and I want to just say this: maybe we'll probably end up getting Hugh Neutron maybe by this Friday or sometime this week, because the brand new month kicks off the 1st, and July 1st is Friday. So maybe Pi Day is coming soon. And just from looking at the tweets and just things that's going on with the character development, him having a background, and just all the different things that's going on for his potential release. We're in the summer now. Why not bring him out July 1st? Just a little guess. I don't know if it's accurate or if it's gonna come out, but it's been a while. I mean, since we had Jenny, so we'll be able to see what happens. She came out sometime in May. I don't know why it says it's a April update, but then we got some more content with the voice acting, the voiceovers, and the items. Maybe we're gonna get an item with them, just like I mentioned, just a prediction. Why not some ducks to use as some items to be included with him. I hope it's Friday, maybe hopefully soon. It'll be the perfect day to kick off the perfect way to kick off the month of July for this week on the Friday. Maybe that'll be our magical release. He could come out any day, and maybe Pi Day is coming soon, where everybody will be able to enjoy Pi and play as Hugh Neutron and be able to try out the character if you guys are interested in him. So it's just a little guess. I don't know when he's probably going to come out, but since we're in the summer, July 1st seems like the perfect way to kick off the new month with a brand new character, and we haven't even had a character for a little while, so it's been quite a while, a little bit, just after Genie's release. So why not bring out the next character with Hugh Neutron, and with the changes that they're working on and the bug fixes and the different changes to the mechanics of the game itself. Still got some things that needs to be fixed in the game. The online needs to be fixed because it lags a lot. Now that more people are playing the game for PlayStation Plus, it's only a few days left of PS Plus. So maybe some of these players won't really be playing the game as actively, but they're probably just on it just for the trophies. Who knows if there's going to be as active once the PlayStation Plus, the new set of PlayStation Plus games comes out. But I'm excited for this character. I hope he comes out this week. It'll be perfect. Just before the holiday weekend, one of the biggest holidays, it'll be perfect to have a new character to play with all throughout the holiday weekend for Hugh Neutron for July 1st. But I'm just throwing it out there, and just another additional prediction. He might be close to being released. He might be close to being finished, considering the fact that they're working on his design and everything else for his finished looks. He's probably got to be finished with his moveset. We're gonna see what happens, but even if it's not Friday, it's definitely probably gonna maybe most likely be next week, because we're gonna be in a new month. And I just really think it's a good idea to bring him out early, because everybody's gonna be playing lots of other games. With Multiverse is getting closer, I think it would be a good idea to bring him out as soon as possible. But I just wanted to put that out there, and let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's going to be July 1st, like me? It's a perfect Friday, 1st of the month, the brand new month. Bring out a fresh character to be included in this game. I'm excited. But now it's time to talk about Ultralord. We're going to bring out the roster. And one thing I want to say about this character before I start sharing the ideas and start discussing him, most people think that most people would think that he probably doesn't belong in this game, and maybe he's not really a good fit. But he's a superhero. He's an action figure. That'll be very unique. I think he'll be one of the most unique characters to be included, outside of just the other characters from Jimmy Neutron's world. Ultralord was always talked about quite a bit and had a couple of appearances, and even during the video game when they were in his video game taking on RoboFiend. But let's bring up the little characters. Let's go to training. So just as usual, so everyone can see who's in the game. But they don't have a Jimmy Neutron rep yet, so Hugh Neutron is going to be the first one. But Ultralord can have a spot. He can have a spot in this game Because look, you got superheroes like Powder Toast Man. We'll just keep him up on the screen. He could play something. He could play something almost like him, but Ultralord is gonna have a different moveset from what I came up with. But just talking about him for his little backstory, Ultralord is just a TV show character and a superhero from Jimmy Neutron's world, and his biggest fan is Sheen, because Sheen always brings the action figure to school, and even during the project presentation, he would just showcase Ultralord and talk about him. And Mrs. File just gets so sick of it because she's already knowing that that's all his project. He's not doing the projects in the classwork that he's supposed to do. He's just gonna come up in front of the class and be able to talk about Ultra Lore or the latest episode and what he's capable of and so much more. He even brings him along and just during their adventures during the episodes with Carl and Jimmy wherever they are, and even with the others, Nick, Libby, and Cindy. But I feel like Libby also likes Ultra Lord too, in a way, secretly, but she just doesn't even want to admit it. But he's just a TV show character, a superhero, and you can. And speaking of Sheen, he also wears his mask throughout the show. And what I'm also going to get into is that you can see the different colors of Ultra Lord, so that's what I utilized to come up with his costumes. But we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But it's Sheen's favorite action figure, and I just really think he has a good spot in this game, and it'll be funny to play as him, and just another great character that's unique. Why not bring an action figure to life as a playable character? I don't think any other platform fighter has done that. See what I'm saying? No other platform fighter out there has an action figure of a toy that could be able to come to life, to be able to wreak havoc and be dangerous and super powerful and capable of being a playable character and a platform fighter like Ultralord. And I think these developers can be one of the first to do it. So that's why I thought it'd be a good idea to include him for this roster for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, to be another additional Jimmy Neutron rep. Not saying he has to replace Jimmy Neutron or he has to replace Hugh, Cindy, and all the others. They have lots of capable characters to be in this game. Ultralord can definitely be the first action figure to come to life, to be able to enter a fighting game like this, a platform fighter, to be able to shine. But that's just a little bit of a backstory for him. We don't see him too many times throughout what he can do, so I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But just as usual, we're gonna start with the stages. So originally, Ultralord is from planet Mektar, and I came up with this as an ideal stage that can be taking place from the video game where Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen had to battle Robo Fiend. So maybe this particular area or planet Mektar can be the location for the battlefield. And if not, they can just go back into Retroville and stick to that main setting. He could be into the real world of Retroville to be able to come out as a playable stage, Retroland as another additional stage. But I didn't want to mention the candy bar. I just went as far as Retroland or somewhere in Retroville and in his original planet where he originally came from, planet Mektar, to go with Ultralord in the same bundle release for paid DLC. We'll get one of those stages to come out with him. But now it's time for the costumes, and just like I mentioned, Ultralord is seen wearing different colors throughout the show. So he wore a mask of two different colors outside of purple, which could be his original costume. So you could look something like, see how the purple, they could have that same little color design for Ultralord on the screen. A Shredder's cape, it's gonna look something like that for that design for his purple original costume. But he's seen wearing blue and black because in the episodes, Sheen had a new action figure and it was the brand new Ultralord. Especially when I think the newest figure or the new figurine or action figure for Ultralord was the black one. And you can see him holding it and carrying it and showcasing and talking about his abilities and so much more. And that's what I touched upon of creating this moveset that I'm going to get into later. But his alternates can be different color variations. Let's see. Reptar, that's what I'm going to go to. See how he's purple? It could be a little bit like this for Reptar's different color variations that they can do for Ultralord. So give him his blue outfit, have him blue, and then his black outfit, and then his original costume can be purple, because that's what he usually wears anyway, his purple suit. But he can have more than one. So those can be all bundled into one. When you get the DLC, you can get all the colors, the stage, and the character, and then maybe an item or something like that if they want to throw that in the bundle as well. So those are all the costumes that I could really come up with for his alternate costumes and different skins for Ultralord. I think he's going to be a good character. But now, that was basically it for the costumes. But now it's moving on to the animations and taunts. Now that we have voice lines, and it's so much easier to include these voice lines and things that the characters can say. Now that we can hear what they talk, see what they say during the arcade, during the battle, winning animations when they win, and so much more. Knockout reactions and all that. It's perfect for Ultralord because now he'll be able to talk. He's not going to be silent. And what I came up with is little animations and taunts and things like that for quotes. So I am Ultralord. And then I think this one would be really funny to see. It was from the Ultralord Z episode when they got stuck in the video game battling against Robo-Fiend, and the only way they were able to escape this video game world is to complete a level. And Carl was on the outside of it, and he ended up killing Ultralord with Robo-Fiend. But they were able to he was able to reset the game when Carl was playing the game for when Jimmy and Sheen was trapped inside of it. But he eventually found his way and got lost into the video game itself. But this is one of my favorite episodes, and this episode was special and utilized to come up with the moveset that I'm going to get into, and then just the animations. He was like, that's gonna, when he got shut down and burned to death by Robo-Fiend, he said, arg, but we could take that out. And I just changed it up because he ended up saying, that's gonna leave an ultra bruise, and then he just falls down. So instead of that, they can swap the roles. So instead of saying that when he dies, maybe that could be a knockout animation. It can also be utilized as something when he takes you out. So when he knocks you out and you lose a stock or something like that, that's gonna leave an ultra bruise. That's how he talks. And then when they finished when they finally was able to, Sheen, once he took out Robo-Fiend, Ultralord said, well done, battle buddy. And he could say something like that to speak to the player behind the controller, so he could speak to us. So when you play you win the match in the winner circle, you get the dub, and then he's gonna say, well done, battle buddy. I think that'll be a cool little animation or a different little quote that they can add. And then he can do his little pose for some more animations and stuff like that. But those are just a couple of them that I could really come up with. I really couldn't find any other catchphrases that he could say that he says a lot. And I think that'll be some ideal quotes that he can say when you play as him and when you win, and it's just a little quick taunt. I am Ultralord. But that's gonna leave an ultra bruise. That could be something. It must sound like, when he just hearing his voice, it makes me think of Buzz Lightyear a little bit. But he said, there's no time to lose. But it could be something similar to these little quotes that I just came up with for animations or what he can do. But that's all I could really come up with. So I couldn't really find any other catchphrases for him for what he could say. And the developers can probably just be more innovative and trying to be creative to get him to say certain things. But he always was saying something about the battle against evil. So he doesn't even like to lose. So it can be something like that. Something like evildoers for his little combination of quotes to go along with his animations and voice lines. But lastly, it's time for the moveset. But just to mention it, it wasn't easy coming up with some of the moves that he could do, because I didn't really know what he was really capable of, because we didn't really get a chance to see him fight, except for when he was battling against Robo Fiend. And maybe some of you guys have remember some of the episodes where you could see some of his abilities. But the behind the creation of Ultralord, he's supposed to be a parody of Ultraman, which is an animated series from doing some research. I never knew this. Ultralord is supposed to be a parody of Ultraman, so I used that to come up with maybe one particular move and some of the moveset and designing. And just from that episode alone, you could see him do certain things when he against his fight against Robo Fiend during the Ultralord Z episode when they were in the video game. But just to come up with his movesets to start, I came up with Ultra combo, so you can do a series of 3 super Ultra punches to attack the enemy, just something like that. This is a Jimmy Neutron episode reference, sending the clones. When there was a clone of Jimmy Neutrons everywhere, and they all had different personalities and doing different things. I used this as a name, this Jimmy Neutron episode, sending the clones, as a name of one of his moves, so he can call upon another clone of Ultralord. Just considering the fact that there is so many action figures of Ultralord, with a blue one or a black one and a purple one, why not be able to call upon a clone? Almost makes you think of Naruto with his shadow clone Jutsu, almost in a way. But he could send in a clone and call upon another clone to confuse the enemy, to bring out another version of Ultralord that looks exactly like him, to confuse the opponent. So with that clone, it's also going to be able to attack you, but it'll stay out for a few seconds. So they can probably implement the clone to make it attack. Similar to how Steven brings out a little watermelon Steven to be able to attack from Multiverses. I was thinking of that a little bit, but this clone probably doesn't really have to attack. It could be a decoy to really be able to bait the opponent, and just so much more. So this is just a little idea, but it references the fact that there are a lot of different action figures in the show that Sheen has, and why not have some kind of move like that where he can be able to create a clone of himself. And I came up with Ultra Giant just to reference Ultraman, because he had this ability, and they also did this in the video game where Sheen became giant to take out Robo Fiend. So I thought this could be a charge meter mechanic for Ultralord for a limited amount of time. Ultralord can turn into a giant, making him more difficult to launch, more dense, and it can increase his range. So see how you get the giants with Smash Bros and stuff like that? They can take a lot of hits. So maybe this could be a charge meter mechanic that they can implement, and every so often you can turn to Ultra Giant to be able to take over the stage. You might even be able to knock a lot of people away. So if it's a crowd, if you're battling more than one opponent, you can be able to deal with them all and knock them away. So just doing some research, just one of his abilities from the show, the Ion Ray, he uses as a range attack that he can shoot. So Ultralord can fire this attack on enemies across the screen, and maybe he can also use it in midair. Just another iconic move that he does from the show. And another one, that shield that he used against Robo Fiend to block some of his attacks. I just call it the Ultra Shield. Lots of Ultra moves for Ultralord. So with this special shield, I thought it can be used to guard against incoming projectiles and reflect items back at the enemy. So it'll be perfect against SpongeBob's bubbles, Reptar's little fireballs, the slingshot from Helga, Danny Phantom's blast, the garbage that Ablina shoots and stuff like that, the banana peels and the trash, the pies that are so dangerous from Garfield that a lot of people use. So Ultralord can be able to block those projectiles for just for a little while. So the shield can't stay up, it's going to eventually break or be able to go down. So it'll drain the bar and just so much more. So, and then the spinning tops that Lincoln Loud throws on the ground. There's just so many different projectiles, the rocks that Toff shoots, and so much more. So I thought this ultra shield could be utilized for the projectiles, and then from the overpowered dangerous items in this game, it can just be able to reflect those back at the enemy. So once you think you're throwing like an anchor at him, he'll just be able to block it. But I would feel like the items would take more of a chunk out of the shield because they're so powerful. They're much more powerful than these projectile attacks in the game from the characters. So that's what I came up with. But now I'm just constantly referencing that episode. The Ultra Crystal, this power crystal was gained and picked up by Sheen to become super powerful to destroy RoboFiend once and for all in the video game, because Ultralord couldn't get to the crystal, Jimmy Neutron couldn't get to the crystal. Sheen managed to get it, managed to grab the power crystal, and this special Ultra Crystal allowed him to gain a power boost. It's a power up in the actual video game from the episode. So this definitely helped me come up with this idea for his Ultra Crystal. So Ultralord can use the power of this crystal to get a temporary power boost similar to the show during that video game episode against RoboFiend. See what I'm saying? So he can have something like that, but it'll temporarily boost his attacks and or his attack power. So just to become Mega Ultralord, because he became Mega Sheen in the episode to destroy RoboFiend. So why not have this as a little idea for a little bit of a crystal that he can utilize? This could be a special ability. This could be something that can be utilized for his moveset. It can also come out as an item. So this doesn't even really have to be a part of his moveset, because he already has the special ability for the charge meter becoming ultra. This is just an additional thing, just in case the developers want to play around with this. They could just add in a power crystal where all the characters become giant. The power crystal can be one of the newest items that could come out with Ultralord in reference to show for the video game episode, where we'll be able to become giant and be able to well, the power crystal will increase the attack power, because they don't have an item for that. They don't have an item for that right now. So that could be one of the first of many, where if Jenny gets the power crystal or anybody else gets it, they can get really strong for a limited amount of time with this ultra crystal. But last but not least, his recovery move. I got this from when Ultralord was during the Ultralord versus the squirrels, when he accidentally threw Ultralord into the tree with squirrels, and they were surrounding him, and he was showing off the hyper wings that was included with Ultralord, that came out with the Ultralord action figure. And it was when Jimmy was practicing. He was testing out the hypno beam, so it can make you forget. It was making Carl forget his fears and stuff like that, and he was really testing it out. He actually used the hypno beam on the squirrels on accident to make Jimmy Neutron, to make the squirrels think that Jimmy Neutron is an acorn, so they went to try to eat him and attack him and stuff like that. So I thought the hyper wings that showcased from that particular episode and from that moment, Ultralord can use his new and improved wings to glide in midair for a short period of time, similar to how Jenny's recovery is. So it can be something similar to Jenny, but just a completely different animation. So that's just a little bit of an idea. I couldn't think of any other way how he could recover, but it was awesome to really get that idea, because he has wings. So he can use his hyper wings and bring them out to get him back into the fight and recover and get back onto the stage. So I thought that would be a good idea. But those are just the movesets that I can come up with, just all the different moves and abilities I can come up with for Ultralord. It took some time. I just wanted to have the moves make sense and reference more majority of the show, and just with the Ultra Giant and stuff like that, it references the crystal actually does that too. It makes him giant and super powerful, but I just thought it'd be a separate ability, considering the fact that he's supposed to be a parody of Ultraman from that animated series in Japan. See what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make the moveset make sense for the character, and just everything from that episode alone, I was able to come up with some different moves and voice lines and different things that he could say for some iconic quotes. But do you guys think he's going to be a good battle buddy to play with in this game? Just for just a little reference for the show, maybe he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a good character. I think he belongs in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, and even though he's different, it's not gonna always be the character that you want to see. And just even those characters that you think that probably don't belong into the game might not be a good fit. The developers can definitely make anybody work in this game, because who saw Garfield is going to be in this and all these other characters? How would they fight? Goofy characters like Nigel Thornberry and so much more. They got a lot of abilities and capabilities, and I think Ultralord can be one of them.